Cherish here. I am back in my original filming room, my bedroom. Today's video is going to be a much different video from my previous videos. Today is technically probably going to be more of an emotional video for me. But a few people have really asked me if I would actually vlog about something I touched very briefly on in my Q&A about do I have siblings, and I did briefly talk about that, yes, and I lost one. So I wanna talk about that this time. So basically, November 12th, 2012, my life changed forever. I've had a lot of forever changes constantly popping up, but this was the very first one. It was pretty big. My dad having a stroke was really big, but he's still alive. So he's only slightly changed, but he's alive. So this is my brother. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. It may be kind of dark. He was 21 when he died. So basically, I'm going to tell the short story. Half the time it winds up being a long story, but here goes the short story. So November 12th, 2012, my mom, my dad, and myself, we were in John's Incredible Pizza, and I got a text from my sister-in-law that my mom really needed to call her. My mom waited till we were done eating and waited till she got a moment. And she went and called my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law said that my brother had been hit on a bike, a mountain bike. He had been hit by a car. And that he was in the hospital. They weren't sure if he was going to live or die, but as far as they knew, he was brain dead. Basically, he died on the scene. Not just because he was brain dead, but just he died on impact. I'm not going to get into the big details of anything else other than basically, I sent out a Facebook notification, if you would, that basically said I lost my brother, and this was even before we 100% knew he was gone. November 13th, they did pronounce him dead. They said that he was a goner. My mom called my aunt, and we immediately, at 5 in the morning, November 14th, we drove 4 hours to Vegas. We stayed in the hospital, and November 15th, he became a part of Donate Life and was a donor. He donated to 5 people. We don't know who those people are. They didn't make contact with us. It's been almost 7 years, I think almost 8 years. I think we're going on. Y'all can do the math. 2012 to 2019. So yeah, y'all can do the math. But I believe this year it's going to be 8 years that he'll have been gone. When he passed and was a donor, this is what he took part in. That's him right there. That's my nephew. My nephew is a little younger than he is now, but as you can see at the top, it says Donate Life. Donate Life has a car. Joey Gase drives it. I hope I'm saying his name right. For people who are donors, and I guess his mom was a donor, and he drives this race car in a big NASCAR race. So the January after he had passed, for 2013, January 2013, the very first NASCAR race in Vegas he was racing in. And my brother was basically on the back of it along with the two other people in the picture. And I guess for us it was a way to move forward, feel better. It's hard to lose somebody that young, whether it be siblings, uncles, aunts, parents. Loss is a hard thing to deal with. I myself still sometimes feel like I never fully grieved. I felt like I had to be a stronger person and just move past it. Years later, I still, November is a hard month for me, and yet my birthday is in there. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I have to deal with every now and again, that's still a hard month. So right after he passed in November, we dealt with his ex-wife and stuff like that, and we called it a celebration of life, December 15th. So a month after he passed, we celebrated his life. He was cremated, which I highly recommend cremating and being a donor. That's where I'm going to be. That's where the rest of my family is going to be. Unfortunately, I do have a family member also who passed after 2 years later. He wasn't a donor, but he was cremated. So this is my grandfather. I'm hoping you guys can see him. I don't know if that helps or not. So yeah, my grandfather also passed. He passed away February 28th of 2015, so just 2 years after my brother passed away. Almost 3 years, I guess. But it was another hard ordeal to lose him. I know I was probably lucky to be one of the few going through school and having both my grandparents and all of my immediate family. But it was very hard for me. When my brother passed, I was 22. I had just turned 22, only a few days from when he passed. When my grandpa passed, 24? Yeah, I was 24. Because he passed 2 years after my brother, so technically I guess it's 2014. But I'm someone who deals very awkwardly with grief. I don't feel like I can grieve in the moment because I feel like I have to be stronger. And I'm already a person who suffers from depression, and I've suffered with it since I was about 13. It was actually just before I turned 13 that I realized I had depression because I didn't know what it was. And yeah, it turned out I had depression. So grief does not come easy. I don't deal with it easy. I don't deal with loss at all, I guess. And grief is the same thing, but I don't know. This year, in February, I lost my adopted aunt. Her name was Ellen. So February 2nd of this year, she passed away. That was another hard thing to deal with, because January of this year, my grandma Helen passed away. So, I mean, that is what life is full of, is, we live and die. It's just hard when you lose people that were very close to you, my brother being one of them, my grandpa being another, and now my aunt, and then my grandma before her. my grandma Ellen, not married to my grandpa. My grandma, who is married to my grandpa who passed, she's still alive. She actually lives with us. I talked about that in my first video, that she came to live with us a few years ago. A little past 2 years after my grandpa had been passed away, she fell and had to come live with us. So she lives with us. So this video has been a bit of an emotional, different from all my other videos where I'm trying to be happy and trying to be uplifted. I do have a video where I talk about mental illness a couple videos ago. So yeah, I deal with a lot of mental illness. Grief is just a part of it. Loss is the other part. Anyways, I'm going to end this video. Yeah, I think that's all I can say without getting overly emotional or too much into detail that I don't feel like anybody needs. So that's all for today's video. If you like this video, leave a like. Please subscribe to my video. Follow me on my Facebook, on my Twitter, and my Instagram. The link will be in the description down below. So, welcome to the Winchester fam, if you choose to subscribe. Bye!